Okay, hello everyone. My name is Han Songnian. In today's presentation, I will give a brief introduction to the two different software development models. The first is waterfall model, and the second one is iterative and incremental model. So let's go ahead. The first one I want to introduce is the waterfall model. It is also the earliest software engineering development model. It was written by Rossi in 1970. The waterfall model defines the activities of the software lifecycle as several stages of work connected in a fixed order. It is clearly defines the input and output results of each stage. So in what situation the waterfall model is much more suitable? The first, I think, is clear and stable requirements, suitable for projects where requirements are clearly defined at the beginning and remain largely unchanged throughout the development. Just like the waterfall, we can go from the top to the bottom, but cannot go from bottom to top. If the requirements change during the development process, it is difficult for our developers to adapt to the changes. The second one is the small project. For a small scale project, the linear structure of the waterfall model can simplify management and communication. The third is strict regulation. In industries with stringent regulatory or compliance requirements, such as healthcare, aviation, clear documentation and stage-wise deliverables are crucial. The fourth one is the mature technology. When the technologies and tools used are well established and the team is very familiar with them, the waterfall model can be executed efficiently. There are also four obvious advantages of the waterfall model. The first is properly defined. In the classical waterfall model, each stage in the model is clearly defined. Second one is clear milestone. In the classical waterfall model has a very clear, well understood milestone. Third one is properly documented. Processes, actions, and results are well documented. The last one is before the design phase. There is a requirements analysis, which encourages the specification of what system does and what the system not does. The second one is the iterative model. From the first picture, we can clearly see that the software has gone through the multiple iterations. If an early increment has released to the users can provide some feedback or advices to support the development of the subsequent process. After multiple iterations, the final document that customer needs is formed. And what is iterative incremental model is much more suitable, I think, is the first is uncertain of frequently changing requirements. This model is very suitable for the project where requirements may change or become clearer over the course of the development. The second one is a complex project. For a large or complex project, the iterative incremental model allows for phased delivery, reducing the risk. The third one is the importance of user feedback. When the user feedback is critical to the product success, the ability to incorporate feedback in each iteration is a significant advantage. The fourth one is the rapid market response. As I mentioned before, the waterfall model is not easy for us to adapt to the market change, but for the iteration, but for the iterative increment model, the situation changed. The idea for projects that require quick response to market needs and changes, allowing the faster release for the usable version. But the iterative model also has some drawbacks. First is the user of this model requires strong management because it has many iterations, as the project will go through multiple iterations. The second one is the users may not understand the nature of the evolutionary of the iterative model. Okay, then we will have a comparison of the two different models. the waterfall model and increment model. So based on my experience, I think today's software development market, people will use the rapid iteration model more often because market demand is always changing, and the software development process also needs to adapt to the market changes. However, the waterfall development model can be used in each iteration, which means that the rapid iteration model has almost all the advantages of waterfall model. For example, in the increment 1, we can use the waterfall model. Increment 2, we can also use the waterfall model. So I think the iterative increment model combines the waterfall model in each part of its iteration. So here, that is, it has almost all the advantages of the waterfall model. But the waterfall model also has its advantages for some big projects, such as I mentioned before, the healthcare, the aviation. It has to be the waterfall model because because the requirements does not always change. And the last is some reference of my presentation. It helps me understand the two different models a lot. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.